Hi, y'all. If you don't know me yet, I'm Maggie Dickens, and I'm a professional counselor and personal coach in Houston, Texas, and the chair of this workshop. So, cheers to everybody. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a faculty member, a small group facilitator, and for putting up with my many super long emails. I know it's a lot. It has been my desire to make this as easy and seamless and just generally fun for you guys. I know you're probably thinking, how is like a 14-page long email fun? My hope is that this prepares everyone, smooths out any sort of wrinkles that may have come up, smooth those out before we even get started. So, speaking of getting started, I don't know about you, but I don't know how we got to being a week. It's Monday that I'm recording this, so I've got less than a week, and I'm still putting some final touches on a few things that I've got to take care of as chair. And so I just wanted to reach out and say thank you so much. I know that there has been many faculty changes, and this has changed the schedule and who's doing what and when, and I just really do appreciate, beyond anything that I could say, I really do appreciate everything that you guys are doing and that you have just joined us and joined this faculty. So again, my name is Maggie. I have a fully online private practice and sit in front of this computer all day. And so that means I'm fairly familiar with Zoom and computers. And so I'm here along with Kathy, and I think Peter is joining us to answer any tech questions that you may have, any concerns you have about sharing your screen, seeing the participants, all of that kind of stuff. So please reach out to me or to Kathy. Use this email thread. My hope is that every single email related to this workshop just stays in this one thread, nice and easy to find everything. And that's my goal, at least. So a couple of things that I wanted to mention and that I wanted to go through really quickly, just so that it doesn't get lost in those really long emails as we prepare for Friday. So the first is that, what am I doing, when am I doing it, and where am I doing it? And so take a look at those grids. I have done my very best to make sure that I haven't double booked anybody and that there's no overlap. And in order to do that, that meant that I was needing to align all of the breaks for both the level 1 and then the intermediate level 2 at the same time. But take a look. We've got some more time, and we have a lot more demonstrations added to both tracks. This has been something that has been asked for by faculty and by participants, and so we've added those in so that we have time to practice, which is really fun. If you have any questions about how to do demonstrations on the computer in terms of just setting up a side-by-side video and having everybody else's video disappear, just ask me. Please reach out. I will be mentioning and making announcements on how to do that at the beginning of the workshop as well. But if you'd like to know ahead of time, just reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss that with you. I also want you to keep note of the time grid, both the grid and the brochure rather, because all the times are listed in Eastern time zone. And as someone who lives in Central time zone, that made my brain a little bit bananas. But I found it to be easiest to start in Eastern and everybody else will just subtract, versus starting it in my time zone and having some people having to add, some people having to subtract. I think those are a couple of the announcements in terms of time. We do have a faculty meeting, and I will be recording the faculty meeting and sending that out to anyone who did not and was not able to attend the faculty meeting. And the reason for that is we're going to be discussing any tech issues. We're going to be discussing if any participants are having tech issues or if they're having reorientation issues, if they're slipping in and out of trance a lot more, and we're noticing those things, right? So the faculty meeting is something we would have naturally in the morning in our in-person trainings. We're just doing it in a more structured way. Also, in my last email, I mentioned that during our 15-minute breaks, Kathy's going to create a breakout room that if faculty wants to discuss anything, to jump into that breakout room and have that conversation. It's the same thing that we would do if we were to walk out into the hallway or go into a corner of a room and have a private conversation about a schedule, about a participant needing extra support or something like that. So we want to make sure that we're continuing to have those conversations private, just both for protecting people's information, but also sometimes participants think that they need to sit around for those conversations and they miss part of their break. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that we will have a breakout room for that, and to just think of those in the same way that we would if we walked out into the hallway. Additionally, I'm going to be creating a group text. I know. In addition to my super long emails, we now have the group text. I will take a cheers on that great idea. I know we're not all fans of group text, but I do want to use this email or this text message rather for us to keep in touch when it's more immediate than an email. So let's say that aliens come in and abduct all of the servers in America and we cannot do the workshop for an hour. So the best way for me to let someone know that, hey, we're delayed an hour, there's no need for you to show up for your lecture because we've been pushed back an hour, is to send out a text. And I would much rather just send that to everyone so everyone is aware, versus sending out 6-7 different texts at once, and that can get a bit confusing. Additionally, the group text is a great place for us to have conversations with one another when we're running behind. So again, if I had, aliens came in and turned off my internet and I wasn't able to log on for my lecture or something like that, I would send a text to the full group and say, hey, I'm getting my internet turned back on. I'll be on as soon as possible. And then someone can jump in and do some coverage versus hoping that one person that I text sees it and responds. Additionally, when we're in small group, we are not able to use the chat function in Zoom for anyone outside of our specific breakout room. And so if you're running behind, which hopefully we will not, we have got plenty of time. We've capped the small group members to 5. If you happen to be running over 1 or 2 or 3 minutes, you can always send a text message out to everyone so that we know, hey, you're running behind. It is expected that any amount of time that you run over is just running over into the break, and the break will not be extended. So keep that in mind when you are a small group facilitator, that not only will their break get shortened, so will yours. So I think that's everything. I think that's long enough. I think we've been here chatting enough. I'm going to get out of my work chair that I've been in all day. And hopefully you guys are having a wonderful night. But I will probably reach out to you guys in video form in a couple of days and just to touch base and see how things are going. I will also at that time be going over the small group practice structure, because I know not everyone's going to be in the first faculty meeting where we go over this. And so this is a great way for me to just make sure that everybody's on the same page, so to speak, in terms of what forms to use, how to use them, how to turn them back in now that we're virtual, some of the concerns to be aware of in terms of doing small group virtually, all of that jazz. So if you have any questions between now and then, reach out to me in this email thread, or send me a text in the group text that I will be starting. It's not too late. starting tonight, just because this email is probably going to go out tonight or tomorrow morning. So thank you all so very much. I am so grateful and so happy to have each of you as part of this faculty. Have a great night. If you're seeing this in the morning, because I send it out in the morning, wait for this until after your clients and your patients. And I will see you all in just a short couple days. Bye, guys. Cheers.